We got episode 14.
Wonderful.
Welcome back. We get into it this week. Stick around if you want to see us talk about some SteamLink. We talk about lava bombs. We get into Bitcoin for some reason.
It goes from exciting to philosophical.
People's wants, what they think they want versus needs.
GDPR,
and
privacy.
That guy.
The reason you're getting all those terms of service things that you're doing right now.
Yep.
We talk about it.
Stay tuned for more. This time
Privacy?
On the Illegal Podcast.
Episode 14.
We've reached a conclusion on the podcast.
I say let's get it rolling right into episode 14.
See, I think I should go after Brian just because...
God damn it!
No, I just thought about it because, like, his article's perfect because that guy, like, he thought he wanted to do something, but maybe he did.
What he actually wanted to do was get the fuck out of there.
Right. All right, that's enough.
Hold to every other episode, Ray has to
right
after
fucking
right
in the intro.
Right after the number of the episode is spoken. What about turtles, man? Oh, that's gonna stay in. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to episode 14. This one's gonna be a doozy for you guys. We're gonna hop over to Hawaii and hear some words from the legendary Daryl Clinton. We're going to hop over to Ray for some philosophical debates. We're going to hop over to one of those two people with some privacy policies and one of the other two peoples with a little bit of the SteamLink, which is essentially being able to use your Steam library on your phone.
Somehow we got to that without him.
I know, that was very
just
strange.
Like kind of waiting for it. I was anxiously waiting for him to just be like, poop aids.
What about turtles, man?
Poop aids.
Okay. Right along.
It's about the boat aids.
So I was scrolling through the interwebs the other day, and I come across this article that says, "Man defending Hawaii home from volcano is hit by flying lava bomb." And I just thought it was a wonderful title. I mean, it's obviously not a good thing that Hawaii is being affected the way it is, but...
No, it is.
I just had this mental picture of this dude just standing, like, in front of his house with, like, with a staff or something like that, and he's got a full suit of armor on in this volcano. He's like, "You shall not pass!" And he's just trying to, like, swing an axe or something like this at this fucking volcano, like a dick.
I just see some, like, a redneck with, like, a gun trying to shoot the lava. Get off my property.
Pretty much what actually happened, though, was...
Before you say what happened.
Okay.
I would like to say I read this just purely by looking at the pictures. As I like to do.
Awesome. That's,
So, like, the classic 5-year-old.
The title is "Man Defending Hawaii Home from Volcano is Hit by Flaming Lava Bomb." So how I like to read these stories is like, I read it.
Well, I can already tell you
the pictures, and I'm just like, oh, that better be the guy covered in lava after he was hit by that lava bomb. Because if somewhere in here he was not actually hit by a bomb, like if he's living at the end of this, I'm gonna be upset because you don't get hit by a lava bomb and then sell a story to CNN.
Well, obviously this volcano is a terrorist now because it's assembling bombs.
That's true.
We'll see.
That's true.
So now what actually happened was,
Mr. Daryl Clinton.
Derry.
Everybody calls him Derry,
yeah.
but it's funny because he's actually lactose intolerant.
Yeah.
Pretty
Mr.
much,
Clinton.
he was hanging out between his house and a couple buddies' houses, and what he was doing is he was armed with a fire extinguisher and a garden hose, and anytime anything would spit out at one of the houses, he would run over there and just put it out to make sure, like, the fire damage didn't get any worse than it had to get. So he's doing good by his house and good by his friends, anyways. Pretty much, he saved a bunch of different houses from actually getting taken out by the fire. He explained dodging these bombs like, how did he put it? He pretty much he explained it like it's almost like catching a football. But you don't want to catch this football. And I thought that was just like the most profound thing I've ever heard.
So what's it like? Because that tells me nothing. He's
well,
running around like with his arms out, and then he's like, psych, and hits the ground and fucks up someone's home.
Jesus. The graphic detail of like when it hits him,
Right.
like of what
Let's
he
hear it.
said.
Snapped bones.
Right.
I
So we're
hope-
gonna start
I hope
here.
It's better than. It's like catching a football, but not.
a day later, Clinton fell victim himself. He was talking on his cell phone for mere moments when a bowling ball-sized lava bomb hit him in the leg.
Damn.
That didn't just happen, was my first thought. He said Tuesday.
I knew it was real because of the pain.
I knew it was real because of the pain.
Oh God.
The fiery bomb snapped bones in his leg. They caught on fire, fell to the floor, grabbed my foot and leg, and held them together, he said.
Like he. What? His foot was blown off, and he had grabbed it, and he's pushing it back on.
That's from the sounds of it, yes.
Yeah.
Oh God, that's not how it works, bud.
Roach told CNN that she believes the intense heat of the lava bomb actually cauterized the wound.
Obviously, it's lava.
To prevent it from bleeding more than it did, because essentially they both thought him and his ex-wife was nearby, helping them defend the house. Ex-wife, I'm just saying. But pretty much they were both under the assumption that he was getting ready to say goodbye, because they thought he was going to bleed out by the time he could do anything about it. It's pretty intense, man. I thought it was pretty funny that this dude is just kind of
Trying to defend his property.
trying to defend his property from this volcano that's spitting out bombs.
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys,
No.
but like, I love my house, absolutely love my house, but if there was an earthquake by my house that was spitting out lava bombs,
Yeah.
I would not be here.
No. I'd be like, I'm just getting my Xbox and I'll call it a day.
Yeah, I'll grab a couple guitars, I'll grab a couple Xboxes,
Get on a
PlayStation,
fucking plane,
all my sentimental crap.
Right?
because it's really unfortunate, but like this, it's kind of the same thing as like when
This
a
is why
fucking
people
big
have
ass
insurance.
big ass hurricane. It's not going to cover any of this shit.
It should. That's
It
all.
doesn't. There's no.
Acts of God, man.
Yeah.
Volcano insurance. Family Guy.
But like when in Florida they'd have some like major storm and they call for an evacuation. If you fucking hang out there, it's like shouldn't have been there, man. They told you to get the fuck out. And when you live on a volcano and it starts exploding, like you're lucky to have only lost a leg in a house.
Yeah.
Now it says here, in spite of his injuries, he said he has no regrets about putting himself in harm's way up until the point he was hit. The risk injury seemed low enough to warrant trying to save the homes, he said. And then after that it says, of course though, if Clinton could do it again, he would pay more attention and try not to get hit. This is CNN, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Well,
we've
this is
enjoyed
what
the whole
he
time.
said, not what CNN said.
No, this isn't a quote. There's no quotations. It just says, of course, though, if Clinton could do it again, he'd try not to do it.
Come on, CNN.
Obviously.
Jesus.
Well, if he said if he did it again, he would just like, fuck it, I might as well take the other leg out too. Like that's like fucking Madden-esque right there. Like if they're gonna win this, they're gonna need to score more points. No, we know if he tried to do it again, he probably would try to not lose his leg.
Are you sure?
Thanks, CNN.
thanks.
Hire-in reporters right out of high school.
Scott, Sarah, Emanuela, and
Scott
Holly.
Sarah Chosdosh.
Yeah, I was gonna say Sarah Chosdosh is definitely doing these infographics down here.
I found her on Instagram.
Oh my god, you have to.
It was either Instagram or Twitter. I think it was
Oh
actually
my
Twitter
God.
now that I'm thinking about it. I was like, I really wanted to like make a clip and then just
We
send
gotta
it
like
to
interview her on Skype.
her. That'd be amazing.
We do. We need
Be
to.
like, what are you
get a hold
doing?
of her.
Make some
Make some
easier,
shit go down.
easier to look at infographics. It's not that hard.
No, Sarah, if you watch our show, which is very unlikely, but if you do, we don't really hate you. We love talking shit about you though.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't hate you.
We'd like to
I
interview
just
you.
hate the work you do.
Yeah, that's true.
Titty, like you want me calling
over
her.
here.
Black puffin. Those went extinct years ago.
So yeah, that sucks for Hawaii, but Hawaii was formed by volcanoes.
So get the fuck out of there. You know what I mean? What'd you have in there?
That sucks for Hawaii. I'm not Hawaii though, so that's pretty much what I heard.
Fuck 'em.
Oh my
That's terrible.
Smooth
It's terrible,
transition.
but like, you gotta get the fuck out of there. Like, I don't feel bad for this particular guy, but
No, There's gonna be a bunch of pictures of guy butts around you. Hopefully, you know
This
that.
guy, but
This is gay, but
just to throw it out there, I had ordered something like late Friday from Amazon, and they were like, "We're gonna deliver it Monday," and I was like, "Oh, that's fair." And then I was just like, "Oh shit, Monday's a holiday." I would be surprised if they delivered it on Monday, but they told me they were going to, so now I expect it. Just got the notification it was delivered just now.
so they didn't deliver it on Monday. Is
No,
what
they
you're
didn't,
saying?
and I'm pissed.
I'm gonna return it.
You guys said this was coming Monday, and it came Sunday, so take it back and try again.
Well, since you're talking about ordering things, do you think you're gonna buy some more games on Steam now that you can do that?
That is a great question, and it's a possibility. It's a possibility because, of course, SteamLink is coming out here. It brings us to our second story. Just I'm guessing we were lobbing that slow ball segue pitch to me.
that lava ball that was thrown in your face.
Fucking knocked my leg off.
He's like,
In-
"Oh, I got it! Oh, I got it!"
In hindsight,
Shit, I actually did.
Yeah.
In hindsight, would you do it again?
Oh, football got my leg.
Yeah.
But
You know, he's
in
just sitting there browsing
hindsight,
through Facebook, by the way, when he was happening. They said he was on his phone, so you know he was just scrolling through the news feed.
He's probably posting pictures of the lava exploding.
probably reading how frequent lava bombs hit people. How
How
how many times does this happen? Let me just. Oh fuck!
Once in recorded history.
One time. But anyway, sorry, Derry, about your leg. SteamLink, essentially, we started bringing this up a little bit last time, but of course, as you may or may not know, our footage was lost, and we had to replace it with some stream footage. But some tables have turned here. So last time we talked about it, it was already on Android. The reviews were staggeringly positive. There was a few connection issues, but I mean, for something coming right out of the gate, there was virtually
just launched,
no
yeah.
issues. Running damn near flawless on some pretty decent phones. I mean, obviously you gotta have a decent phone.
Now you also have to have a decent computer as well.
And an internet connection as well.
If I remember correctly from last time, it doesn't really rely so much on the on your actual computer
Wasn't
as
it
much
just
as it
like-
was
It
like
relies
cloud.
on the processing power of your computer, not the graphics power.
Right.
That's right. That's what it was. So yeah, you're gonna need a a decent computer, but even more so, you're gonna need some pretty good internet as well, depending
Yeah.
on what kind of game you're playing. But the reviews were just kind of overwhelmingly positive. Works really well. Steam controllers can work. Xbox 360 or One controllers, pretty sure you can connect those via controller, Bluetooth. If I remember the story last time.
Great console, the 361,
Yes. That's what the next one's gonna be called.
probably.
But what some of the new developments is Apple actually rejected SteamLink from their store, and they've came out and pretty much had a little like, this is why it happened, and
Little press conference.
yeah, I mean,
I'm willing to
essentially
bet
here.
that Apple just doesn't like it if anybody can download anything not from the App Store, and I think the whole premise of SteamLink is
Yeah.
to be able to download stuff from Steam. So each individual game would have to be put on the App Store to download, I think.
Yeah, I don't
Is
think
that?
so.
And I don't think so either, because the
'Cause-
game's playing off your computer.
Yeah, maybe.
Well,
I just
it
think
says
they would
here
lose a lot more money.
There's no
for
local
games.
storage being taken up except for the app itself.
they're working. They're trying to get it up, but Apple has
Can't
very
get it up.
they have very strict guidelines, much more than Android does, obviously. And like, if you have access to like any kind of third party like access to where apps are running within apps, like they really don't like that, because they don't have a whole lot. They
control.
can't. Yeah, they can't do a lot, and of course, the less control Apple has, they don't like. But it says here. I'm trying to see if this is from the Valve team. It looks like it's from the Apple team. It says, "We care deeply about bringing great games to all our users on the App Store. We would love for Valve's games and services to be on iOS and Apple TV. Unfortunately, the review team found that Valve's Steam iOS app, as currently submitted, violates a number of guidelines around user-generated content, in-app purchases, content codes, etc. We've discussed these issues with Valve, and we continue to work with them to help bring Steam experience to iOS and Apple TV in a way that complies with the store's guidelines. We put effort into creating apps an app store that provides the very best experience for everyone. We have clear guidelines that all developers must follow in order to ensure the App Store is a safe place for all users, fair opportunity for all developers. And after reading that, I feel kind of like we didn't find a way to make money off this. It seems like we just allowing them to have their app on our store and they're making all the money, and that doesn't sit well with our guidelines. Like, we need cuts and shares of every game downloaded and every app downloaded.
And isn't Microsoft involved in that somehow as well already? Like with Steam? Just because it's...
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
They don't get a cut of anything, you don't think?
No, Steam's not affiliated with them directly at all.
No, but it's a Valve thing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's interesting because, I mean, that kind of scene, it's due to business conflicts, and it's not looking good. I mean, that's kind of what I'm taking it, is just like, you're releasing a free app on our app store, and then you're selling premium products, games on Steam, and we're just over here like, enjoy your app and all your service.
Yeah.
We need the money,
It's
guys.
just classic, another person not wanting to have like a awesome service on their thing because it's going to take away from the Apple games and stuff that they're
the
making
Apple games, yep,
revenue
all that
off.
stuff they're gonna
It's just
be
like
making the revenue on.
buying that Windows mixed reality VR headset that I got. It worked fine on the Microsoft stuff, but if I try to launch Steam, it's just like, nope. It's going to be choppy, and you have to put it at the lowest settings, which it's running a little bit more intense graphics, I know, but...
You wanna know what's funny is I don't think this is gonna impact Apple sales at all.
No, definitely
Of course not.
No.
Because typically, I think that if you're a gamer already, you already have an Android phone, anyways. Not always, but most of them.
Yeah, exactly. I agree.
Just because I don't know why anybody in their right mind would buy an Apple product for any kind of customization purpose or unless you plan on rooting it or jailbreaking it.
Right. I mean, if you got a PC that's capable of running a lot of these games, chances are you require a little more out of your phone too. Like you probably are. You know the specs on your computer. You know all the specs on an Android phone. You know Apple's very vague about like what all their direct specs are and what kind of actual processing power their processors have. It's an A4. Deal with it.
I want to see this SteamLink done on the Razer phone with that 120 hertz.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
Ooh, spicy.
That'd be sweet.
Always spicy. Spicy and sweet. You got both of them here.
Sweet and sour.
Savory.
That'd be sour.
Sweet, sour, and spicy. All the flavors.
But in hindsight, I don't know which games I would actually, be playing, if any. This actually it excites me. But what I really want is my Xbox library on my phone.
Same. I think that's gonna probably happen
for sure.
For sure, easily. Especially with Phil Spencer at the head. Like he's probably already looking into. I'm guaranteed.
I'm sure as soon as gigabyte speeds are more relevant, it's just right around the corner.
Yeah. I just want to play
that's
GTA.
really the only thing that's restricting us right now is the speed.
Well, is it the speed? Because
5G's.
What is it running on? Because right now, obviously, it doesn't require that speed, right? So to game, it doesn't take gigabyte speeds to, have a really good game. So
depends if you're going to be streaming the game or not,
right?
Or if you're going to download the game to
the game's running.
Right. What I'm wondering is if somehow you could bypass that internet speed and just on having a better router alone and having like a gigabit speed router, and that's what the connection between the Xbox and the phone is.
Home. If you're at home, that'd be fantastic. But I'm talking about like
outside of the home.
Yeah,
you're at work.
5G
on break, and you want to play some GTA or
you just OTG your Xbox controller.
Yeah.
Set your phone up on the dash and go.
Yeah. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
I was totally expecting a longer statement. Yeah. Okay, cool.
Hook my Xbox One controller to my OBD reader and just start driving around with my Xbox controller.
That would be fucking awesome.
That'd be fantastic.
Fuck this steering wheel. Sitting in the back seat
immediately
like you
crash.
have a chauffeur.
Yeah.
You
Sit
hit
in the
up
back
on the
of a
directional
truck.
pad, and all of a sudden, like a secret compartment opens up in your car you never seen before.
You keep on hitting LB to try to boost your car.
Fucking PUBG, god damn it.
B is for boost. Kicks you, fucking throws you out of the car.
Dives out. You hit a little pothole and just
hilarious.
blows your
You
car
hit
up
B,
and it
just-
flies into the sky.
Hit B, just spits you out of the window. The car just drives away. Oh shit! Controller rips out. Car's gone.
You accidentally teleport to the back seat. Ha!
Oh my good
That'd be
lord.
hilarious. You could-
Fucking PUBG, you piece of shit. Fuck
Anything
you.
offhand that you guys would be like, if you didn't have the ability on your Xbox, a game that you'd like download for PC, that you'd be like, I'm getting Steam going, getting the SteamLink going, downloading that shit on my phone so I can play this game anywhere I want.
VR chat.
Rocket League.
I was thinking Rocket League.
How long does a 5-minute game take?
Not long. It'd be
5 minutes?
It's the perfect. So that's kind of the perfect game right there.
Yeah.
Continues to be the perfect game.
I think the ability to not have to have like a crazy big VR headset and then do the SteamLink for VR chat and then get Gear VR or
Is
the
that confirmed?
Google one.
Did you see any of that?
No,
Okay.
I'm sure it's something that will probably be
I'm sure.
working,
But
which I'd love to do.
that's really what you're excited for is VR chat mobile. Walking around like in the middle of like a public park.
I can be
People
anywhere
that aren't
in
there.
virtual reality.
As a Mountain Dew Stormtrooper dancing on Backstreet Boys. I did that.
Did you say Blackstreet Boys?
Misspoke, but yes. Insert the Blackstreet Boys picture right here.
That's crazy. I think,
Backstreet Boys.
I don't know what I would play. Probably some single player games would be really fun. Cause I don't.
Take too much time. If I'm gonna like fully invest into a single player game, it's gonna be something I sit down for hours on.
Yeah, I
end
wanna
and
see it
do.
on a 4K TV.
Yeah, the only reason for me to play a mobile game is because I got 5 minutes to spare here and there.
Right.
Fair enough.
Well, the other thing that I think would be cool is not so much playing on mobile. Is like if I could just do that VR anywhere, my mobile could maybe power it, hook up VR to the mobile. That would be where it's at. Cause like rather. Like if
Pretty
I'm
much
not
what
with-
Ryan
VR?
said. He just explained it weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, if I could play like single games in VR wherever I'm at, with just my phone and a controller and VR headset.
Which you probably could.
I'm sure it's on its way, if not already, but
Yeah.
that just seems like a really
Well, you're just your
weird thing to do.
like just
Well,
because
let's
you're
play it
gonna
on
get
TV
a
then.
because I'm. What if I'm just like
Because it's not going to turn a game into like a VR
You want to
game.
be like
you can
at
view it on a
Subway
big screen
and
though,
then
is what
like
I'm
be like,
saying.
oh, I want to play this. And then
Wherever
pull out
you're
your
at.
phone,
Like the PlayStation
put the
VR
pitch on,
does, yeah.
Connect your controller to it, and then you're like in the middle of Subway, like.
And then someone steals your fucking sandwich. You get a win. You open up. You're like fuck yeah, this is gonna be.
I finally deserve my chicken sandwich I just had.
Chicken dinner.
Not anything important. The sandwich is what he's concerned about. Not the laptop you have in your
But
bag.
that's what you want.
What's
That ability to
Oh.
play a single player game VR in public with a controller. I just want to
In
make
a
this
Barnes and
clear.
Noble, yeah, in Barnes and Noble for sure.
That's a weird one, Ray.
What about you,
Sipping
man? Besides
coffee.
Rocket League, you can't say Rocket League because I already said Rocket League.
There's just some there's been some weird games that I've like just been wanting to play on like on my computer, but like I don't know anyone that has like computers like Gang Beast. You ever seen Gang Beast? It's like a bunch of like
yeah, I've seen it.
weird,
I don't
like,
visit
putty
those sites,
Muppets
Oh, never mind.
throwing
Yeah, it's
where they're like
fantastic.
fighting each other. Yeah, it just looks like so much goddamn fun. Rocket
Putty
League would
Muppets.
be the obvious choice for sure. I'm excited for Fortnite to come out on the phone. We talked about it like 10 episodes ago. Still hasn't happened for Android yet.
Yeah, it's coming.
But it
Supposed to be this
has
summer.
to have
And my dreams.
controller support. It has to have that. I think
Yes.
PUBG works pretty good with
Yeah.
the screen controls, although it's a little busy, but it still works pretty good. A lot of the shit's automated on there.
Mm-hmm.
But I just feel like Fortnite with like the building mechanics and everything, like it's gonna be real tough to implement.
Well, I mean, you implement auto build and like, I mean, essentially, if you take a look at the UI that is Fortnite right now, it wouldn't be too hard to have like, essentially, you have your screen here.
Well, they got those
basically, if a company does not send out these emails that you've been getting in your inboxes constantly for the last week, they have to get a lot more consent from you before they start selling their data. You're going to probably start seeing a lot more, do you accept this, more terms of service, like update things where, like, if it's something like, say, a new feature on Instagram shows up and you start being able to do like live conferences with other people, you might have to like accept their new terms, be like, well, we might have to share
Save
this
all of
with
your
that
video.
other, yeah, something like that.
So
And any video you create on our website is now ours, and the content you created on that is now ours as well.
some of the crazy things kind of playing in the background here is all the companies knew that this was coming for 2 years.
Oh yeah.
And
quite
they had 2 years to get their fucking ducks in a row, which was pretty much all they had to do, was be like, we're selling you information and we can't be held responsible what happens after that. But for 2 years, all these major companies were just fucking like, fuck it, put it off to the very last fucking minute. And some companies went down for a couple days, and there were companies that actually went out of business, game companies that went out of business because of this.
Mainly because the fine is so steep.
Yeah.
If you are not compliant and you're not doing all of the things that are in the regulations to the GDPR, you can be fined up to 4% of your global revenue, which, for example, for
billions of
Amazon,
dollars.
Amazon would be $8 billion if they were not compliant.
For each
Each infraction.
each infraction, not just like
That-
So
pay
if
us
they
$8
didn't
million,
send
now
it to
you can just do
everybody.
it.
Which is hilarious because there's already one dude that is saying that Facebook and Google were not compliant, and they're hit with an $8.8 billion lawsuit on day one of this being in effect, which is hilarious. And that
Who
was
exactly
just
gets
on the
that
25th.
money? Just like
It says
the
that,
FCC?
I don't know, it said there was an individual, it says this was filed by an Australian privacy activist, Max Schrems, longtime critic of companies and data collection practices. So, yeah, it's super funny that already the two biggest.
Facebook and Google weren't on time. That's crazy. That's crazy to me.
Yeah, but
Because I mean,
they can afford
what
it.
did it take?
But
6,
why?
7
Why
minutes.
would they afford it? Yeah,
7
minutes right
minutes
out of contract.
to update some shit and just like send it out to everyone. Instead, like you're gonna just not
those
do
big
it.
companies.
Like,
are-
there-
Maybe they were
there's
just
some
testing the
underlying
waters just to see how
No,
serious it was.
I think the amount of money they made by selling information
Was
on
probably
those, on those
outweighed,
last
yeah,
2
maybe.
days was just fucking astronomical.
Oh, yeah. They're like, yeah,
Like,
we'll take these
Yeah,
infractions.
they probably made $100 billion off. I mean, they have everyone's information for everything. They were probably just like, they couldn't even sell it off fast enough. They just had a big fucking warehouse full of data, and they couldn't even like get it to people fast enough. They're just like, fuck.
Never ending line.
Yeah,
sell
just-
everything, sell everything, sell everything.
Yeah.
Just insane amounts of data. Just server fields for miles of data, and they can't even like upload it fast enough to the people downloading it and paying them. That like they're just like, fuck it, we'll take the infraction. It's worth it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, LA Times, CNN, a ton of news corporations were down in the EU when this happened, just because they were just like, sorry, we're just not doing it.
Yeah.
Until they got their shit together. I'm guessing they had some other reason. They were probably like, we'll shut down the site till we sell all this info, and we'll get it back up and update the terms, and let's fucking go.
Yeah. So a few ways to be compliant to the GDPR. I'm just going to read through. I have an infographic here. It says obtaining consent. Your terms of consent must be clear for the company. Timely breach notification. It says if a security breach occurs, you have 72 hours to report the data to both your customers and the data controllers. Right to data access. So if you request, hey Google, I want this information. Google's pretty good at it. Facebook most recently, where you download your information. But even small companies, like if you're like, hey, New York Times, I want what you're collecting on me. I'm a subscriber to your news service. What are you collecting? And then they have 72 hours to basically give it to you. Or I don't know if
Or
it's
respond,
72.
probably.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Spotify on the actual website is going to have a personal information thing that you can actually click on. You don't even have to request it. They'll just have it in there for you.
Yeah. This is, I think, the biggest one. This is 4 on its infographic, right to be forgotten, also known as the right to data deletion. So if you request, I want to be deleted, they have to delete it.
This is only in the EU, though, right?
EU, but like we stated before, it's every company in the world,
right?
for the most
but
part, that's global.
But
No.
I can't make that claim because I don't live in the EU.
Right.
Correct, yeah.
Okay.
So,
But Spotify still has their that button that you can click to find all of the data they
yeah,
collect.
Spotify is based in the UK, I believe, so that's probably why.
Yeah,
Well, the UK is not part of the EU anymore.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Fuck.
The game company that shut down
Modern
because
history.
of this
It's
was it was a game company that made Super Monday Night Combat,
isn't it? Modern History.
which was a super popular MOBA game that's been running for 6 years, and they just had to just fucking be like, "You got to shut down. We can't even."
This is where we
that
make
would
all
just-
our money from.
Yeah, it's like we
Yeah.
would destroy them, so they just had to fucking just go. Oh, sorry guys, we're not here anymore. Thanks for the 6 years. So that's definitely shitty. So yeah, it's got all kinds of repercussions here that you may not even think about. Like, oh, what's the big deal?
Yeah. I kind of want to
Works
see
out for the consumer because now they have to be a little more open about it. But
Yeah.
it's really like,
I think that's good.
I think it's a really good thing.
but it changes nothing. There's never gonna be a service that you don't sign up for now.
no.
There's not a service that you're canceling
Whereas
now.
the part that's amazing that I think is the game changer is the right to data deletion.
That we don't have.
That yet.
I think it will be expanded to the States, hopefully, I believe. But
But let's say you request it. Who's to fucking say, you know?
Correct, for sure.
they don't want
just
you
for
around
sure.
it first.
Maybe it's just
Well-
some fuzzy shit on a fucking infographic
They
that
just-
makes you
Well, the
feel
number
good.
one thing, anyways, is they're like, I'm going to take all of your data. I'm going to sell it to these people. But
We
you're
don't have it
requesting
anymore,
deletion.
but I'll
I'll
delete
delete
this
mine.
copy.
Yeah, I'll delete my
I've already
copy,
sold
but
it
they've
to
already got
100
it.
million people.
Yeah.
And I think that's the kind of the fuck over here that we're getting is like we're not gonna not have any. It's all the same shit's happening. All the companies are still selling this data. They just kind of have told us like, yeah, we're still selling it. We just have no idea what's happened with it afterwards, which we kind of knew that was the case anyway because you
Just about that
sign up
dollar.
for any
Who cares?
service and all of a sudden you're just flooded with bullshit. Whether it's you throw your phone number in for something or throw an email in somewhere and all of a sudden you're just got all kinds of silly shit, and it's just like we know it's being sold and resold and bought and resold several times, and it's like now they just put it in there, so they're just verifying like, yeah, we do that,
Well,
and we just go, okay.
at the end of the day, though, let's get real. Whose responsibility is it for your privacy?
We talked about this before. God damn it!
I think we
You're gonna
talked.
say it's like it's your privacy,
Well, I mean
or
that's
it's,
true.
it's your responsibility,
Right.
but we live in a world today where it's just like, well, you can dig a hole underground and live in a bunker and have a bunch of canned
I
food
think you can
and
just be
not worry about
Private.
and you know be private, but
That's not
if
what
you
I'm
want to be
saying.
a productive member of society and use services and tools and
You just have to choose which ones you use and be very selective about it. If you want privacy, I mean that's the way it's always been.
Does it
It's
matter
just
which
mo-
ones you choose?
What do you mean?
Pretty much all of them are going to collect your personal data.
Yeah, but you
and
get to
if
choose.
they collect it, they're going to sell
You
it.
get to choose what's entered, though.
Or you get to choose which one.
You could just fucking lie.
Yeah.
well,
Give 'em fake info.
I'm not even like
I mean,
I'm not even like really worried about like if someone wants to send me some spam emailed, like I'm worried about like the deeper shit, like the metadata that's essentially being like collected and sold
exactly and what
like,
details of the
yeah,
metadata
like-
is.
yeah,
like
they always
locations and
vaguely say-
timestamps and shit.
just like the information Amazon has on me, for instance, like that information
So
is
much.
insanely valuable to like third parties where they're just like, I know every fucking thing this guy desires.
Spends money on what he puts in
Yeah.
his wish list, what
Like
he buys for other
shit's-
people.
They probably
that shit's
understand your
that's the shit
psychology.
that like I'm worried about. Like
You
I
know
don't
what I mean?
care like if they, you know, have some third party company and they try to sell me cheap shoes or something.
Right.
Do you think that Amazon knows what you want more than you know what you want?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Because of
With
how
habits, yeah.
many things I buy like that are just like Amazon's choice, and I'm like,
You know what?
yeah,
It's not bad. It's not bad.
But I think all in all, it's a good thing. Just more protection against like just companies.
they're
just,
being less transparent, but it like
it's making
it
companies
doesn't
do a little
help
bit
us
more.
really.
Yeah.
It's helping someone every time they get a fine. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, it helps me spend more money.
When the company that, like, breaks this rule because they sold my data and someone else...
Are you going to get a piece of that?
Someone else gets $8 million. It's like, well, that was my data you got that money for.
Yeah.
Let me get a slice. Because
get all of it.
Because if we're talking about like $8 billion on an infraction, and that infraction was from 5,000 people, maybe those 5,000 people should, that $8 billion should be broken up between the whose fucking data got leaked. Because that's fucking crazy information. Because I don't think it's just
I agree.
emails and phone numbers. Like, it is that metadata on, like, this is how long he spends on websites. This is how long he spends watching TV and Netflix. Here's what he watches on Netflix. Here's the kind of comedy he likes. Like, here's his fucking, all the weird metadata that you don't think about. Like, here's where his eyes go when he's fucking looking at websites. Here's how many times he clicks when he's on websites. Like, here's the ads he falls for. Like, that's the kind of shit.
Speed at which he scrolls when he's looking at
Yeah,
Google.
like that's the kind of shit like they're selling to companies who, like, to them that shit's like
what about
priceless.
location data? Like
That too.
your regular patterns, like that's
too.
going to be sold to businesses so they can find out, like, they can already pick their ideal target, and then they
He
just
drives by
ask for
McDonald's every morning at 8:50. We're gonna throw him a fucking coupon at 8:45.
One of the weird things I seen on just Pokemon Go when they updated their privacy settings, one of the things that it shows, like, right in the statement was website data that you used, like, before you launched the game. So if you were on Pornhub or The Verge or whatever website, basically it knows that website.
Collects it.
Yeah, collects that.
And
I'm like, that's
obviously
super crazy.
it collects your location data,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
So and then
But the website, like, why do you need that for Pokemon Go?
They don't. That's just
And then you're
another form of
inside your
revenue.
house and you turn on your camera and you're moving it around your house. And
Yeah.
you're just collecting exactly what the inside of your house looks like.
Well,
Hey,
why
look,
do
a
you even-
Bulbasaur.
Why would you need to turn on, like, for you to see the cameras working, for the camera to be working?
Well, there's AR.
That's true.
though. But yeah, you're right.
And he's saying just like whether you have
Right now,
even if
how,
you had
how do you
like
know
the
someone's not watching
you
through
don't.
any of our cameras?
you don't.
No.
I do.
I mean, I would actually be willing to bet with the number of cameras that we have around us right now that are hooked to the internet, I bet you at least one of them is being watched through. I would be willing to bet. I bet you that's the case.
Probably. Hi.
But we're already putting this shit on YouTube, so why?
Yeah,
Why?
yeah.
Just become a subscriber.
Is someone watching for that camera?
It's like the one that nobody's watching through, for sure.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I have on it.
Yes.
Just everybody's been impacted by those emails, so
Fuck them. They're sluts.
They are sluts.
But I think there should be some sort of like, they said you have to alert people within 72 hours. So if I get an alert that's like, hey, we fucking fucked up bad,
yeah.
we have to pay a lot of money,
To fix it.
and you're gonna get 1% of it. Cool.
Thank you. Yeah.
Now, here's
I
what
think
I
that would
want to
be
do is
incredibly fair.
immediately start one of these new scams where we call people up, tell them their data has been leaked inappropriately, and we owe them money. All we need is their routing information. That's the new scam.
By the
Or
way,
you need
we
to go
in
to Target and
Nigeria.
grab all the iTunes cards you can.
That's so ridiculous.
Oh my god, it's
We're
gonna
falling for that
happen
shit.
too. It's gonna
Oh, yeah.
happen.
And then they said the first $300 cards didn't work, and all I needed was a fourth. So then I got a fourth. That one didn't work either.
Yeah, it's crazy. All of these aren't working.
There's somewhere it's just all these iTunes accounts with tens of billions of dollars on them.
That's funny.
Oh, I have all my money in iTunes gift cards. Yeah.
Can I pay you in iTunes?
That's how I
How many
retain
albums
value.
you want, man? How many albums?
How long do you guys think it'll be until there's something called an iCoin?
I'm sure there's an iCoin already.
That'll
There's
definitely be a
probably
thing.
many different kinds of icons.
Yeah. Well, I'm just like
That'll be a
Apple's
thing.
own crypto.
Or until they just start accepting Bitcoin or something like
I've
that.
seen Facebook's making their own.
Yeah, I heard something about that.
I would believe that.
Yeah.
Me and Brian tested out the
Yeah, you can
money
send
sending
money
feature
for no
on
fee
there.
whatsoever.
Well,
On
at least
Facebook?
at
Yeah.
least $1. Yeah,
It's on
I
Snapchat.
sent.
It said no fee up to like 9999. Like
That's how it was with like
just
Google,
under 10,000
Google
bucks I
Wallet
can
and stuff,
send
too.
no fee.
It was pretty fucking amazing. I just requested money, and I requested $1 from Brian. He sent it. It was in my bank account within like 15 seconds. I sent him $1 back, and it was probably there again within 15 seconds.
I wish Google Wallet was still around, man. That was sweet. You could just flip money around, and you actually had like a physical debit card, and it had Google all over it, and it looked cool as fuck, and had your name on it. And you could just
what happened to it?
They just stopped. They went to Google Pay, which is not nearly the same thing, but it uses NFC, so they're all about it.
Yeah.
But Google Wallet was sweet because I don't think you can get a debit card with Google Pay.
I would actually rather have a card that I can link to my phone, and say if I have, especially with cryptocurrency, say I've got US dollars plus 3 or 4 types of cryptocurrency on this card. I would like to be able to, in my app, select what type of currency, what one I want to spend, and whether, no matter what the merchant charges, you know, in USD or whatever, but it like select what I want to spend. On my app, it tells the account what I want to spend, and then it as soon as I swipe it, it sells.
Runs like a credit-based system, so it'll run it in USD, and then it'll pay that back in.
No, it would sell.
Let's
Let's just say I
again.
had Bitcoin.
Yeah.
It would instantly sell. Let's say I'm buying for something for $20. It would instantly sell $20 worth of my Bitcoin for 20 USD, and then pay that to the merchant.
Well, you can instead of doing like crypto coins, you can do that with like a
I know there's a gold coin.
with gold.
yeah,
so you can do that
or
with
a gold card. Sorry.
Yeah, so like you actually are you're buying gold,
Yeah.
and that gold is like a bank account where you have
Sure.
like they're actually holding physical gold for you somewhere.
I just like the idea of crypto too, because you can also. It's
Yeah, that'd be
because
nice.
as it grows in use,
Well,
you're gonna make
because
money off of it.
The problem why it's probably going to be a while before you see that is just because of how often it changes between the time you swipe your card and by the time that company gets that money.
What is?
Well, they wouldn't be
cryptocurrency?
getting Bitcoin; they'd be getting USD in his scenario.
Right. But like
Right.
you have,
The
just for the sake of
cardholder-
simplicity, we'll say that your coin's worth $1.
Yes.
And you're like, okay, I want to
Visa.
buy this $1 thing, and you swipe it. By the time you swipe it and that transaction's done, that coin's price has fluctuated 10 different times, and it's worth something different.
Sure.
By
I
the
think
time that's
by
done.
the time we have that, literally these cards, like Visa, will be doing business. And that Visa, MasterCard, American Express. Maybe American Express will make a comeback and be like the first one to be like, crypto. And
I don't know. It's looking bad for cryptos all around.
I don't think so. It's pretty much leveled out. It's not.
It's not going good, man. Bank accounts are not even like allowing you to deposit crypto now. Bank of America is just closing accounts, going, you have 72 hours to get all your money out of our bank account, or it's gone forever.
Let me ask you this.
Like, it's not looking good.
That's awesome.
You remember? Well, do you remember? No.
What was that?
Like what?
Pepperidge
no,
Farms.
that was an old ass man.
Pepperidge
going,
Farms.
Pepperidge
Pepperidge Farm
No, I was
remembers.
about to talk about prohibition. Like,
I remember
obviously,
that.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, prohibition happened, and that was during the years of prohibition. America drank more alcohol than ever before, and I think
doubt it.
that crypto will probably do the same thing.
What is cryptocurrency for the viewers that have no idea?
Cryptocurrency is just like your money that you have in your bank account right now, except for it's not USD. It's just some other thing, and it has value because people agree upon its value, and because basically computers are used to generate it, and the amount of processing power and electricity spent on those things inherently gives some little bit value to it.
That's also why it's also not looking good. Is like it's just fucking
Using so much energy.
devastating the energy world.
For sure, but like that's absolutely. They're just gonna come up with more like efficient ways to do it, though. They're just come up with more efficient hardware.
We're just moving to places.
Necessity is the mother of invention. That's how things work all the time. Like people used to use graphics cards to mine these things.
Yeah, but
It's
there's a
not that
dude
anymore.
that
The
moved to
reason
Iceland.
that'll never be the case, because that's like the idea behind them is because like you have to make them more and more difficult, require more and more
For
energy,
sure,
require more and more power, because
And that's what also
what-
will drive the value up too, because people are still gonna be searching for it. You know, it's not like
until it's. Well, what I'm saying is like it's not looking good, and just that's the reason why like these two things are going to meet at some point, and it's all going to come crumbling down.
Well, I think they've pretty
That's
much
the
got it
point where
down
it'll be
to
like
an
no more
algorithm.
cryptos, but like everything's just going to be like it's all
Someone's gonna
just
go
like it
for
is
that
now,
last.
or you're trading it for illegal shit, and
Someone is gonna go for that. Well, I mean, you can do that with fucking money right now. That's no different. Like,
but you can also spend it at a store.
Yeah.
Like that's another reason why it's not looking good. Is like if you own any crypto, it was somehow used for some sort of legal purpose. Albeit, if you have cash in your hand, surely it was used for some sinister purpose at some point.
Yeah.
But it's what it is.
I don't know.
People don't want anything to do with it.
I don't know. I think there's such of the people that are involved with it. There's such a I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. So passionate about it that they will push it. Kind of. I think that's how anything works as far as advancement is. It's never the majority that pushes advancement of a product. It's always the minority that starts it, and then it becomes a real thing for everything. You know what I mean? And if the minority doesn't accept it, then it just never goes anywhere. Kind of like a Microsoft Zune.
I was just gonna say the Zune. It was a big hit, right?
Yeah.
The minority. But I've been using my Zune all day.
But
That's a bad example you used.
I mean, the minority stuff. I mean, even like the American Revolution, and it's not like everyone in the colonies.
He's gonna pull out a Zune.
I do. I have one, but it's
He gave it to the Guardians of the
it's out
Galaxy.
there somewhere.
But case in point, huh?
No, like
Don't know where the Zune's at.
no, I think it's gonna be more like the American Revolution, where there wasn't like thousands of people that signed the document or were on board to do the whole country wasn't aboard for revolution. There was just a few individuals, like a very small, tenacious minority, but it happened.
I'm gonna make the
think that's
statement
also
that
true.
it's
It is
super-
true. No,
super
that's
strange.
a fact. That's absolutely a fact. I mean, we were signing up to fight the most powerful nation on the planet. Everybody's fucking scared.
Yeah, they were using Bitcoin during the American Revolution.
That's not the point I'm
I
trying to
know.
make.
It's a weird correlation between the two.
I just don't. I think when you have a small, passionate group of individuals,
Yeah.
you can get shit done.
Yeah, it's possible.
I mean,
I'd say no, or else
it's a
something
small,
would have
passionate
been
group of
done by now
individuals that
about
own this
anything,
planet and run this
anywhere, at any
motherfucker right
point in
now.
time.
Oh yeah, we know that. Okay. Was that your topic?
No, that wasn't
Kinda
my
turned
topic.
into a
My
'Cause
topic.
that was
yeah.
basically the topic.
What-
That's all you get. That was our episode.
No, fuck you.
That's all you get. What are we at?
We're I don't know. We're gonna just go to Ray's corner for some philosophy real quick.
Okay.
Ray's corner.
Ray's corner philosophy.
You get 2 minutes.
2 minutes. No, this can't be 2 minutes. You guys.
Minute
need
58.
I just want to point out that
Minute
like probably
55.
10 minutes
losing.
ago I gave you a perfect segue and it just never
I did.
happened.
I did.
So-
It was slow lob like what with it, but
It was gorgeous and then
it
somebody
wa-
took back over.
It was flowing, man.
Yeah.
It was
You're
good
at
stuff.
a minute and 40 seconds.
We're losing time.
All right, so what I've been thinking a lot about lately
Damn it.
is how much what people believe that they want and then what they actually want, and then are they the same thing? And I feel like a lot of times it's not. When you actually sit down and take the time to think about it, analyze what you're chasing versus the outcome that you actually want, and they're not even the same thing.
You're at a minute. No, I feel you, yeah. Like, you really don't know. Like, you think you want to be rich, but, like, why do you want to be rich?
Yeah, some people have this lofty goal, like, I need to be a millionaire, but it's like really the lifestyle
I need to have
they...
a house. I need to have kids. I need to have all these things by these ages, or else like I'm a social failure.
Yeah, it's like there's this preordained lifestyle that's sold by imagery through media and advertising and all this other bullshit that people just I don't know. I think they buy into it. A lot of people buy into that. I mean, I'm just as guilty as everybody else. Where it's like, you're seeking riches or whatever, you're doing certain things in your life that you don't even like doing just to attain some certain goal that you have in mind, and then when you get there, you're just like, okay, well,
That wasn't fun.
that wasn't it.
Yeah.
And what's the next fucking thing? What do you guys think about that? Is there a disconnect a lot of times, some of the time? How do you think that works out with most people?
For most people, even like I made a lot of those mistakes in my early 20s and stuff, like the shit, like my goals and dreams when my 20s were completely different than what they are now.
Now that you're 40.
Now that I'm 45. So I don't know, it's one of those things where just like the things I wanted were not the things I really wanted. Like they're just the things I thought I wanted at that time, and it's just like,
Why do you think you wanted them? Was it sold to you by just society,
well,
or
no,
like,
just like you're 20 years old and you're like, I'm gonna do this, and then I'm gonna have this by 20. By 24 I'm gonna be retired, and by 26 I'm gonna be living in Hawaii on a taking
On a
volcano
volcano.
bombs. and then you're just like, you know, in hindsight, you're just like, why the fuck did I even think or want any of that? And, you know, a lot of it is that, like, you know, you're just...
You watch too much MTV Cribs?
Well, no, not even that. But before that, like, just the way you're taught in school, you're just, you know, you're taught nothing important. You're just like, oh, you just gotta do your taxes, go to college,
Bootstraps.
get a wife, have a kid, picket fence, lawn mowed, flowers in the front, dog in the yard. And then they just go. And like that's what school is
But how do I
essentially.
do my
And then
taxes?
So, I mean, like, that is pretty much the general outline of school. And I think that's a big thing to do with it is, like, they just feed you this, like, their idea of success and happiness or whatever it is. And it's like,
It's
really
almost
just a
getting you set up for,
corporate-
like, almost a modern form of slavery.
Cubicle life.
No. Although, if you'd like to buy that T-shirt that I talked about earlier for $99.99 instead of $24.95, you're more than willing. Tim will still be on it.
$500 T-shirts
as
are
Vegeta.
selling with holes in them.
You're over 2 minutes. No.
But I mean, it's one of those things, man. When you realize kind of what you really want and what makes you happy on a day-to-day basis, and you know you find that, I think that's a big difference of, you know, waking up, going to sleep happy every day, of just like being anxious about, you know, not making it or not being successful in other people's eyes. When it's just like, for me, you know, got my girlfriend, roof over my house, Xbox to play, my cat, food to eat, I'm good. Like, I don't have that, like, aspirations of, like, I gotta have, like, a yacht and bitches on it.
I don't know what I would do with a yacht. Bitches for sure, but I don't know what I would do with a yacht. Like,
I'd probably live on it.
Why not?
If I can.
Jeans.
depends on the
Coke.
internet.
What?
Depends on the internet you can get on the yacht.
Dude, you're on
Laser
a yacht.
internet.
Laser internet.
Laser. That's a thing, though.
That
That's
is a
how,
thing for sure.
Yeah, that's how Elon Musk is talking about doing that shit, right? It was gonna be like laser internet.
Yeah, somebody was
Here's
talking
not
about it.
doing
They
satellite
explained
lasers.
it.
Sleeping at
It's
the-
like fiber optic cable without the cable.
It's like catching
that's
a
a direct
football,
quote
but not.
from a
I
website. I'll
remember
find it
that,
for you.
yeah.
The futurism.
Oh, the
they put
description
out
of
there.
a laser.
Exactly. Yeah. Thanks for breaking that one down for me. Did we have anything else here, boys?
No, I believe
I
that's
don't think
all.
so. Just subscribe, like, share. Mostly share, subscribe, and like.
Yeah. Ring that bell too.
Laugh a little bit.
Ring the alarm.
Learn to laugh. Learn to laugh.
Aren't we all laughing?
Later, motherfuckers.